Now that we have our service already built out, let's start building our components. Let's create a new folder called Components, and let's create our first component, and let's name it TodoList. TSX. We're going to want to import React, and we're also going to want a few methods that modify our state and manage it as well. So usually we'll have a use effect, we'll have use state, and we'll also have use callback. We'll be using this in the next few videos to demonstrate the life cycle of this to-do list. Let's also import some UI elements. We won't be using all of these at once, but we will be using them in this tutorial. Tabs. We'll also have a layout. Row. Let's say column, input, as well as message. I think that goes well. And let's also import a style sheet. TodoList.css. We don't have that, so we'll create that now. TodoList.css. Awesome. Let's import some of these. Let's say create to do, delete to do, load to dos, and we'll get this from our service. Let's get to do as well, and update to do. We'll be also using these methods inside of our child components, as well as our parent component to-do list. Let's just import them for now, that way we don't have to do this later. We'll also have a tab pane. This is an Ant design, so make sure that you look into these components. And let's make sure this is a const. We don't need the header. Awesome. Let's create a functional component, to-do list. And for now, let's think of some things that we need. We need state for when our application refreshes. Say, for instance, it's updating the to-dos or pulling in the to-dos. You want something to manage the refresh. Let's do const refreshing, set refreshing. We want that to be false initially. We also want something to manage our to-dos. Let's do const active to-dos. And also const for our completed to-dos. Let's do a return and think of what we need. We need a layout. We have some padding. And we'll see the error that we have here. Let's have a div. Class name. And what's a nice class name? We'll say to-do list. This will identify that our to-do list is actually inside this div. And we'll have a row. Let's format this. Let's look at the error. Empty components are self-closing. And typically we'll have a column as well. And let's make sure this spans, let's say 14. And the offset, what do you want this offset to be? Let's say 5. So offset of 5 spaces. Let's format. Let's call this CodeBrains to-do list. Awesome. Now let's go to application, and we're going to want to run this. Remember that we have various run commands. So let's do npm run start. This will start the renderer as we've done before and start our application. Now you're probably wondering what's going to happen. This is not going to display this to-do list because we didn't add it to our app.tsx. I'm going to do to-do list. And import to-do list from components.to-do list. What's the problem? You'll see that unable to resolve the path to this module. Now you'll see this. It's not exported. So you have to export default to-do list. This will fix that, and this will also fix this. Let's go to definition. Or let's see here. Dot bonus that to-do list. Let's go back here. And this could be an IDE issue. Now I did think of something that could solve this. Instead of like you would normally do this. And then here, you have your export default to-do list. To-do list. And there we go. Now we have this to-do list component here. We'll make some modifications to it using CSS, but in the next video, we'll start actually using the to-do service to pull in this to-do